Most folks who carry a revolver believe it'll never lock up on them, but run 50,000 rounds through it. And reality shows up fast. That trusty 6-shot wheel gun you've counted on can start locking up, light striking, or outright failing when it matters most. The truth? Even the most rugged revolvers won't make it to that legendary 100,000 round benchmark without proper maintenance. Today, I'm walking you through 6 tried and true habits that will keep your revolver running buttery smooth for a lifetime. And stick around, I've also got a bonus technique that most gunsmiths won't mention outside their circle. The final tip will completely change how you approach revolver upkeep, guaranteed. Habit number 6. Learn to diagnose cylinder timing like a pro. Timing is the heartbeat of a revolver. If your cylinder isn't locking up precisely in line with the barrel every time you pull the trigger, you're asking for trouble, misaligned shots, escaping gases, and in extreme cases, catastrophic failure. Most shooters don't even think about timing until something breaks. Here's what I do every 5,000 rounds without fail. I open the cylinder, rotate it slowly by hand, and watch carefully as the bolt drops into each notch. That bolt should engage crisply and lock the cylinder firmly in place. If there's any slop, wiggle, or hesitation, your timing is already slipping. Also, never slam the cylinder shut like they do in movies. That bad habit bends the yoke, or what some folks call the crane, just enough to throw off your timing over time. Always close the cylinder gently by hand. I also check how smoothly the hand advances the cylinder. It should glide with zero drag. If it's catching or feels rough, that's early wear creeping in. More than a few gunsmiths I know say this habit alone prevents close to 80% of the timing problems they see in revolvers that have seen real use. Habit number 5. Stick with high-grade ammunition only. Nothing shortens a revolver's working life faster than junk ammo. I learned that lesson the hard way. After firing off 10,000 rounds of bargain bin reloads, I ended up with scorched rifling, cylinder scoring, and an extractor that was barely hanging on. Low-cost ammo isn't just a reliability risk, it can be downright dangerous. You're dealing with inconsistent powder charges, soft lead bullets that leave fouling behind, and reloaded brass that might split or stick. That debris gums up your rotation and eats away at your timing. Now, I only run trusted brands, Federal, Winchester, Remington ammo that's loaded to spec with clean, burning powders and consistent pressure curves. Yes, it costs more up front, but you save yourself serious repair costs down the road. When I'm shooting high volume, I roll my own loads using recipes I've tested thoroughly. That gives me total control over case condition, primer seating, and powder charge. With my hand loads, I've pushed my Smith & Wesson Model 686 past 80,000 rounds without so much as a hiccup. Habit number 4. Clean it like you actually plan to keep it. There's a reason Smith & Wesson tells you to clean your revolver after every use, and it's not just marketing. Every round you fire leaves behind corrosive powder residue, microscopic metal shavings, and grit that acts like industrial sandpaper on your internals. My post-range cleaning routine takes 15 minutes flat, and it's saved me from thousands in wear-related repairs. I start by scrubbing each chamber with a bronze brush and quality solvent, removing the cylinder entirely if I need better access. I don't tear the whole gun down unless I've noticed fouling in the action or issues during firing. The forcing cone gets special attention. It's the most abused part of the frame, and where premature erosion usually starts. If your revolver has an aluminum frame, listen closely. Aluminum is softer than steel, so any dirt caught between those two surfaces means your frame is going to wear first. I wipe down the cylinder yoke and frame rails with a soft cloth, then scrub the barrel from both ends until the patches come out clean. Finally, a light coat of top-shelf gun oil keeps everything running slick. Habit number 3. Learn to lube it the right way. You'd be amazed how many shooters mess this one up. Either they drown their wheel gun in oil or run it bone dry. Both mistakes will come back to bite you. Too much oil turns your revolver into a dirt magnet. Too little, and you'll get steel grinding on steel. I stick to a precise routine. 2 drops of quality gun oil per friction point, no more, no less. The places that matter most: the crane, the ejector rod shaft, and the hammer pivot. I cycle the action a few times to spread the oil evenly, then wipe off any leftover slick. The trigger assembly deserves special care. I hit the return spring and the hammer spring contact areas with just a pinhead-sized dot of oil. That keeps the action light and reliable, without encouraging carbon buildup. Here's something most folks don't think about: your climate changes your oiling strategy. Down south, where it's humid, I run synthetic oils that repel moisture. Out west, in dusty conditions, I keep lubrication minimal so I don't collect grit. In cold weather, I switch to thinner oils that won't freeze or gum up. Oiling smart, not heavy, keeps your revolver alive and kicking. Habit number 2. Keep your ammo on a rotation cycle. Here's a discipline that separates weekend shooters from serious revolver carriers: ammunition rotation. Just like anything else, ammo has a shelf life. Powders break down, primers lose their spark, and brass can corrode right inside the cylinder. That's why I follow a strict first in, first out policy. New boxes go to the back, old ones go to the range. Even though revolvers don't run on magazines, I still rotate my loaded speed loaders and moon clips about once every month. Springs can weaken over time, and plastic parts can start to deform if you leave them under tension too long. I treat them like I would spare mags, swap them out before they turn into a problem. Temperature swings ruin ammo faster than most people realize. Leaving cartridges in a hot vehicle all summer or a freezing garage over winter leads to pressure irregularities and misfires. That's why I store all my defensive ammunition in a climate-controlled cabinet where temperature and humidity stay steady year-round. It's one of the simplest steps you can take to avoid reliability issues down the line. Habit number 1. Respect the mechanical boundaries of your gun. If you want your revolver to make it past 100,000 rounds, you need to understand when to push it and when to back off. Every wheel gun has its limits. The ones that hit 20,000 and start falling apart? It's usually because the owner ran it too hard without paying attention to warning signs. From my own logs, I've seen bolt notches begin to wear down anywhere between 60,000 and 80,000 rounds, depending on the model. That's why I inspect my revolvers after every few thousand rounds, looking for peening, end shake, or timing drift. Frame stretching is another silent killer, especially if you feed your gun a constant diet of high-pressure loads. Over time, it throws your timing off and causes binding. For practice, I stick to mid-range loads that won't overwork the frame but still deliver solid performance. Save the spicy stuff for when it counts. Pay close attention to subtle changes: heavier trigger pull, rough cylinder spin, or erratic shot groups. Those are early signals of wear, and I don't ignore them. I also match my maintenance schedule to the gun's construction. For instance, my Ruger GP 100 shrugs off punishment that would wreck a vintage Smith & Wesson. Know your steel, know your limits, shoot smart. Pro-level tip: the secret to a clean cylinder face. Here's a tip the pros use that casual shooters overlook: keeping your cylinder face spotless. If you let carbon build up on the face of the cylinder, it hardens into a crust that eats away at your forcing cone and increases blow-by. That kind of wear sneaks up fast, and it's expensive to fix. After every range day, I clean the cylinder face using a strip of Chore Boy copper scrub pad, not the plated kind, the real 100% copper stuff. I wrap a piece around a wooden dowel and work it gently across the surface. For heavy carbon rings, I let the area soak overnight in a 50-50 mix of hops number 9 and Croyle oil. The next morning, that carbon wipes off clean. Why does this matter? Built-up carbon increases your cylinder gap erosion and contributes to flame cutting at the top strap. Gunsmiths charge up to $150 to restore a neglected cylinder face. This simple method saves your gun from all that. Which one of these habits caught you off guard? If I had to guess, most folks never think about rotating ammo or checking their cylinder timing until it's too late. But these 6 techniques, they're how I've kept my revolvers running strong well past the halfway mark to 6 figures. If this info helped you become a sharper shooter or better owner, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to Gun Fanatics. We've got more real-world tips coming that'll keep you sharp, safe, and always ready.